Just one Sunday from now, we will be celebrating Christmas. And this third Sunday of Advent is called Gaudete Sunday, meaning, let us rejoice. Maybe it is good to ask ourselves in this Gaudete Sunday, am I happy with my life right now? Maybe you ask me, Bishop, are you happy with your life? Our deacons, are you happy with your life? You parents, you mothers and wives, are you happy with your lives? Husbands, are you happy with the person seated to you? Children, are you happy with your years as young people? Those who are retired, are you happy with your retirement? Don't you feel useless? Don't you feel depressed? If we are happy, we may push another question. What are the sources of our happiness or joy? And what is the quality of our joy and happiness? Is it something that is lasting? Or is it something that is shallow and fleeting? At times we have cognitive distortions. We resort to things and to people because we want to be happy. And that is why we develop some dependencies or what we call addictions. If we can just take some drugs, we will feel high and we will be happy. An alcoholic would say, if I can just take some drinks, I will be happy. Those who are workaholic, if I can just fill up my schedule with so much work, I will be happy. There are other dependencies and addictions that are not run after by law, but they are addictions, and we do not notice them as form of addictions and dependencies because it's different from being a drug dependent, because the law will run after you. But we do not realize that we also develop addictions in shopping. Online shopping. At times we keep on buying things that we do not really need. And the other subtle addiction is addiction to gadgets. We do not notice that. And it is creating a lot of dependencies. We become so anxious once we misplaced our gadgets. Once the internet connection is so weak, we are worried so much about it. And we thought that if we can have all these things, we can be happy. But in this Gaudete Sunday, there is another type of joy that the Lord offers us, that the Lord wants us to experience. And the readings help us to discover this kind of joy. This is the joy that does not come from things. It is a joy that comes from the Lord. That is why the first reading and the second reading talks about joy in the Lord. Joy in the Lord. I experience joy because in my very situation, I experience the presence of God. The situation is secondary. Sometimes we focus more on our situation, and when it is favorable, we say, I am happy, I am joyful. But when there are misfortunes, we say, I am not happy, I am in desolation. But joy in the Lord is not dependent on situations, whether it is good or bad in our judgment. Like for instance, in a depressed place, beset with poverty and destitution, at times we wonder why in these depressed areas we hear a lot loud laughters from children, from people around. You see people is smiling. And at times we wonder why in mansions and big houses we do not see this kind of joy and this laughter. The first reading talks about joy in the Lord. Israel rejoices because God is with them. And Yahweh said, I will not make judgment against you. I will give you another chance. Being given another chance, being shown mercy by this merciful God, gives joy to the heart of Israel. Being vindicated, being protected by God, gives them joy. But this kind of joy that comes from being forgiven is not something that will lead them to more infidelities and sins. Because mercy that is given by God should not be taken as a license to do more sinning. Mercy is given for us to change our life, to do away from sin, to stay away from sin. And that is why in our gospel, people ask, we are now baptized. What shall we do? The gospel did not spell out, did not talk about joy specifically, like the first and second reading. But we will discover where this joy is coming from in the response of John the Baptist. People ask, what must we do? And then John the Baptist told them, he responded, those of you who have 2 cloaks or 2 coats, give one to someone who has nothing to wear. Share. Share. If we want to experience joy, we have to share. There is joy in sharing. You know, if you keep your salary just for yourself, you may be happy, but that is not complete joy. Joy becomes complete when you spend that for your loved ones. There is joy in sharing. When a public servant sees that the covered court that he had erected, he had built, he will see young people playing. It gives him joy. When our roads are passable because budgets were placed in its proper appropriation, there is joy and contentment of that public servant. There is joy in sharing. And then tax collectors came to John the Baptist and asked, what must we do? So if you are working in BIR, this is what John the Baptist is telling you. Do not collect taxes beyond what is prescribed by law. And no under-the-table negotiations. There is joy in justice. A person who is just is blessed with the joy of the Lord. And then soldiers came. They asked, John, what must we do? And then John the Baptist said, soldiers, avoid extortion. Do not use your power. Do not abuse your power to gain something. Do not fabricate lies so that you will be promoted. There is joy in being honest. There is joy in respecting human dignity. Maybe if we imagine John the Baptist to be present here, and then parents will ask, John, what must we do? Maybe he has an answer to the parents, to the wives, to the husbands, to the children, to the public servants. to religious leaders like us. And if we want to experience the joy that comes from God, we have to pay attention to what the Lord is telling us in our hearts right now. Saint Paul, when he wrote the letter to the Philippians, as I have told you last Sunday, he was in prison, but he experienced joy in his heart, even inside the prison cell. He was telling the Philippians, rejoice always. And these words are coming from someone who is in difficulties. But he is able to rejoice because he sees the hand of God. He sees that the gospel is more important than anything, and it is worth his life. It is worth his time and his energy and passion. Today, we are asked by the church to rejoice. But the joy that the church offers us is a joy that comes from the Lord. Someone said that one of the ways to understand joy is this: J-O-Y. There is joy if we focus on J, Jesus. O, others. Y, you. The last is the self. Parents, you know that by heart. You are the first one to rise in the morning. You are the last one to go to bed. Myself is the last. I do all these sacrifices for Jesus, for my family. And in doing that, I experience something that is always there, the joy that comes from Jesus. From Jesus that is extended to others. And the joy that is extended to others by doing good gives us a joy that is deep, a joy that is not fleeting, a joy that is not passing and temporary. It is the joy that stays in the heart. And when that joy stays in the heart, it will always be there and becomes contagious to those people around us. May Jesus Christ be praised.